Hello everyone, how's it going?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chance's Diaries. This
Yeah.
is season 2 of Chance's Diaries. Yeah, the resounding success of the pilot season. We were after getting a load of funding. We got
Yeah.
dental job for the wall. All the works here now and everything. We got a coach, and we're back now. So that's the kind of situation. I'm Aaron McCarthy,
I'm David Savage.
and thank you for tuning in. Goodbye. No, but look, that's the situation. Look, we're gone. We were doing all the behind the scenes job, and now we're back now with a new season of Depravity Free. This is going to be a lot more highbrow and stuff. We're not going to be saying words like titties or
Munter or
vag.
yeah, any
Trollop.
of those. Trollop, any of those, yeah. How old were you when you first started wanking?
I suppose 11, 12 maybe.
Yeah, I'd say I was about 11. And I remember it was to do you know what it was to now, right? I'm not even joking. It was to a trump card of not Trump now.
Yeah.
Just wanking off the Trump.
Him on The Apprentice.
You're fired.
Oh,
I know. Bear in mind, yeah, and I'm just there like, bear in mind, lads. Back then he wasn't in politics, like.
No.
But no, it was Mickey James, the wrestler, but she was wearing
Nice,
a
yeah.
low cut top,
Yeah.
and it was just on a Trump card. Do you remember that? Like when you did the WWE stuff when you were a child, but it had all the women in fucking bras,
Yeah,
like.
I know.
And you were there like, no, I'm allowed, ma'am. It's wrestling. I'm
Yeah.
allowed. Do you know? And I was
know.
just pulling myself. But see, I used to pull myself off wrong. I used to kind of try and do it like that with a bit of friction, trying to get a bit of friction going. So it took a long time and it was a bit painful.
That was
But then-
probably from wrestling. You saw that, you see.
Yeah. But when I actually got there in the end, I was like the first time I had an orgasm, like I was like, Christ almighty. Do you know?
Yeah. Oh, I remember it well, man. I can only imagine what it'd be like to do it with someone, but
Oh, it must be sick, man.
yeah, but you know what? I was watching fucking WWE Raw. It's gone to Netflix now, so you can kind of watch it, right?
Oh, it's all there.
And
man.
I
It's
was
sick.
watching, and the women's fucking division is way better than the men's now. It actually is the women's one. It actually is classed by. Like I was watching the men's one, and like fucking John Cena now has gone heel, and it's like whatever, man. I don't
Yeah.
care. You crusty old fuck.
I'm sick of Cena at this stage. But like when I saw he turned heel, I was like, that's brave, man, of WWE to go down that route. Like, do you know? No, it was very strange because he's supposed to be retiring at the end of the year, and they're like, oh yeah, he's after turning heel. I'm like, so is he going out as heel or what's the crack?
Yeah.
Like,
Like, there's only one fella I think I know who went out as heel, like in a big heel turn. That was probably Chris Benoit. Jesus, boy, speaking of these kind of men, you know what I watched last night? Do you remember the fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme ad where he did the splits on the Volvo truck?
oh fuck it, yeah, that's
Unbelievable.
fucking sick,
Yeah.
lad.
He was a mad fucker, boy.
He's a mad cunt.
I was watching interviews of him then. Like, he was apparently, like, like in the 90s, like when he's peak, like,
Yeah.
and he was doing like a Street Fighter movie job, and like probably one of these shit movies, but he looked fucking brilliant. And during that movie, he was so fucked on coke that like he'd just be not showing up to days of work. They got him like when a fella's gone off the rails, you'd have like kind of a sober companion, But apparently the sober companion was just like so starstruck that he'd start going off the rails with Jean-Claude Van Damme as well.
I can see that happening, man. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking, lad. Like
he was spending 10 grand a week on fucking on coke,
Jesus Christ.
and like they'd have to fuck up the shooting things and all that. And Kylie Minogue was in that movie as well for some reason. But so yeah, he did that. Apparently, he had an affair with Kylie Minogue on the set.
Legend.
And I kind of just saw it yesterday, so I have the direct quote. It was like he said years later, it was like, yes, we had an affair. Beautiful kissing and love making. And it's the exact quote. And
Do you know what? That was the last review I got for my last one night stand I had, actually.
beautiful kissing,
Beautiful
lovely.
kissing, love. Yeah.
That's great, boy.
Yeah, that's one.
Can you get that on a poster for?
I might get it on a poster
Yeah,
for Edinburgh or something there.
Yeah,
do you know?
That's great, boy. But yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then so I watched because I like watching things about, like, I don't know if he's even in recovery, to be honest, but he's not living a good life, I'd say. But no, I will say that fucking thing on the Volvo, that's one of the coolest things ever, man.
Oh, that's fucking lethal, man.
But yeah, so I was watching an interview with him then about like how he's talking about his struggles, and he's going on like, I got into the sleeping pills, and my first movie, Bloodsport, and that's a fucking amazing movie as well.
That's sick.
And I didn't sleep for 3 weeks or however long he was filming. Is that so? I got on the sleeping pills, And then the cocaine, they blew that way out of proportion in the tabloids. It was only for a couple of weeks. It's like you were spending 10 grand a week, by.
That's not blown out of proportion, man. That's a worrying amount of fucking.
And you know what makes it like? 'Cause when I saw it, I'm like, this man hasn't recovered at all. He may be sober, but he's not in recovery.
No.
Is during the interview with whoever this was, I don't know. They were a normal news broadcasting. He was getting the interview while he was bollocks naked getting a fucking massage with this old like Asian one standing up on top of him with his feet, and he's there. Yeah, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. And then it would cut to scenes, you know, like where like cut, and he's just there, just in a towel being interviewed, and he's doing all the look at me, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in because I'm healthy. I'm an inspiration for children and adults.
Did he threaten to spark out Steven Seagal? Was that him? Did they had some? Didn't he like Steven Seagal was like talking all big, like I could kick the shit out of him, and then one day he actually came to the fucking studio and said like, right, me and you were gonna fight right now, and apparently Steven Seagal was cowering, like he was nearly crying, like
Jean-Claude would fucking puck the head off.
Steven Seagal's just a big fat fuck. That's all he is, man.
I know. And you know what the thing about his movies are, boy? Like, you know, all of those movies now, like, you know, of those boys, like there's Steven Seagal's ones would be something like, you know, what is it? Under Siege, and he's on a submarine or something.
Yeah,
but he's just the chef. Like it's like a Navy thing, but he has no Navy training. Like it's not like, oh, he was trained by the Navy SEALs. Like, no, he was fucking trained in like a Michelin star restaurant. Like, and then all of a sudden he's just firing knives.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and there was some movie that I watched of him recently. It's what we need, like a guy sitting here for fucking to Google stuff, like a Jamie, you know. There was, what was it? It's some movie where he plays a sniper, you know. And like, I'm not joking. For about 85% of the movie, he's just sitting down because he's too fat to move around. Yeah. Like, I swear to God, there's so many scenes where he's just either on a motorbike or driving a car or just sitting, you know, laying down with a sniper. Yeah. But like, and then he's with it. So he's about 65 when this is being filmed, or whatever age he is now. I don't know. Like, this is about maybe 6 years ago. This movie came out. And he's gone out with a man who's like 30 in it, like she's the love interest, like, you know what I mean? And the plot of the movies, he's to save her or something like.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
that was the condition. I need to be seeing a woman who's half my age.
Yeah. But like, is he just surrounded by a bunch of yes men, or what the fuck's his crack? Like, he's just insane.
I don't know, but like, all I know is that like, you would fucking Arnold blew up because obviously he's like the greatest man who's ever lived.
He's literally the greatest human being who's ever lived.
Who's also an absolute legend. And then like, basically like the way what Marvel was like 10 years ago, that's what the boys were like. You know, they were like, these boys are licensed to print money. So any jacked fella with a kind of an accent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why you have all these boys. And then fucking, I don't know how he came into the fold, but for some reason, I think like, he must be able. There must have been a time when he was able to puck the head off someone. Do you know, there's no way he could have bluffed his way through that. But
when you see him when he's younger, he looks fit enough.
He's good jaw, like.
Yeah, like he seems like he could play a tough guy in a movie. But there's, I swear to God, there's actually a few lads I've met in my life that are convinced that he's like legend, like even now, like they're convinced. Like, do you ever see? What is that martial arts that he does where he's literally just flipping boys over?
Oh, yeah.
Like, but you could tell the boys are just humouring him, like.
Yeah.
But he's doing that. But there's a fella that I work with, and he was legit one day just there to me, like, he's like, "Do you ever watch this video, boy? Steven Seagal, he's fucking like, that's unreal, man." And I was like, "You do realize that's a lot of bollocks, like."
Look at him, it's like he's nothing to him, la.
Yeah, and I was like, "You do realize that's a lot of bollocks?" He's like, "No, boy, that's all legit." Then I literally had to show him a video of like explaining why Santa isn't actually delivering all the presents in one night, like the same fella.
Nah. Well, yeah, I love that, the idea of these kind of boys, like they're just fucking believing everything. It's like, yeah. Nah, if fucking the tooth fairy's not real, where did that fucking tenner come from, man?
What do you think my father put it there? He didn't have a bob, man.
He wouldn't be, he wouldn't be handing out tenners willy-nilly, like. Come on, man. Yeah.
It's fucking, I don't know, man, these fights.
Easter Bunny, Jesus was on the cross with the two boys, the Easter Bunny and fucking Santa, boy.
I told you that I went out with a Chinese girl and she could barely speak English. I told you that, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, some young one.
Rice.
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 You know what?
I was going to see how long could we leave it before a little bit of a problematic joke came into fucking play there.
That's tasteful, boy.
But some young one, yeah, some young one anyway. That's what we call her for legal purposes anyway. Yeah, well, she couldn't understand anyway if I was saying her name, fucking screaming it from the rooftops. But
Go on, give us the play-by-play.
Basically, right, was chatting to her on Tinder or whatever, you know, and she's actually a lovely girl, but I could tell the English wasn't great over the phone, but it was perfectly, like, obviously, you know, making perfect sense because she was obviously using Google Translate or something, you know.
Yeah.
But it was, you know,
one moment, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then like that or whatever, and that was grand. I said to her, you know, well, look, we'll go for a coffee or whatever, and she's like, yeah, that sounds lovely. I'd love to do that. So I met up with her, and from the moment I met her, I was like, hey, it's lovely to meet you, or whatever, and she just went, yes. I was just like, well, this is fucking this is going to be great. Yeah. And I'm not joking, man. I sat down with her anyway, and I was like, what would you like? What coffee would you like? One moment, please. And just like took out her phone, and she's just like, a flat white. And I wasn't gonna do the real what she actually said, but she and then but like, man, I'm not joking. I was literally, because I know, like, I've been out with girls from different countries before and all that, right?
Yeah, you're a bit of a UN in fairness.
Oh no, they call me Mr. International in work, right? But I've had to slow down. I've had to slow down when I'm around people, obviously, because I'm from Cork and all that, you know, and we do talk fast. But I was chatting to this one, and I was pure, like, as if I was teaching her English. I was almost like, where do you work, like that, you know? And she still was just like having to use her phone, and then she's like, when she was leaving, she's like,
she bowed.
Yeah. Come on.
You were like, this is going very well. Oh, it's come back up.
You know,
yeah, so like we're going for a more kind of highbrow kind of
as you could tell, wanking,
this time.
female wrestlers are all fucking class, and then and then a little bit of casual racism while you're at it. Why not?
You know, well, look, I mean, I'm in full support of it. Like, there's no one saying that the two of you, like, together would have been wrong.
No, not at all. It's just I just don't think that would have worked in the long run.
You would have had to move back. What country is from? Just so we're not.
She's from she's Chinese.
Chinese,
she's from China.
So, you would, if you got married, you would have had to move back to China and like look after their parents then.
That's like a thing.
Yeah.
Is Graham Francis going to have to do that?
That's Japan. They're fucking. That's like the Wild West. That country, man.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started, man.
No, I love doing it.
No, I don't know. I was in Singapore actually.
Oh yeah, you were.
We might as well just name all of the Asian countries while we're here.
I know a man from Mongolia.
Yeah, I was, and it was a bit of a shock to the system. All right, like I will say.
What did you eat over there? 'Cause you're a very plain eater.
I ate a plane.
Aer Lingus flights, right?
No, it's actually like out of all those countries, the most westernized. Like that country looks unbelievable, man. It was like something from Cyberpunk, like like, you know. Like I was getting like I was on the cigarettes, and you can only smoke in like designated boxes, and I stood outside the box. I was like, you know, I'm not standing in a box. You can't box me, man.
Yeah.
And a fucking robot policeman rolled up to me with like an emoji face that moved and kind of was giving me looks like as if like, you know, I was like, all right, bye, fair enough. And
what the fuck? No, wait.
Fell on 3 wheels. I'll try and find a photo, or Susan, get a photo up of the policeman there.
Susan, our producer, thanks very much, Susan.
The editor.
Editor, sorry. She's a 46-year-old Vietnamese woman. Thank you.
Yes, that's why we're allowed to talk like this. But anyway, freelance shop. And he rolled up, and he was like, as good as like, I don't think he was going to tase me or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have my Mickey in my hand at that time. Like,
what can he do to you though?
Probably call a policeman or lady. I'm sure, like, get one down. He's probably filming me as well, so I'm there. Going, fuck you, bye. So that's all on camera now. Oh, fuck you. And
so he had like a big emoji face, like a sad.
No, yeah, but it would move like it was computery, like.
Oh, that sounds like a scene from Doctor Who, man.
Yeah, it was like on 3 wheels. No, he was only like, he'd have been up to about here and me, like, so
you probably could have bait him.
I could have bait him, yeah. But, and then I stepped inside the box, and I was like, fucking you win this round, you fucking long arm of the law.
Yeah.
Then I went to some like buffet thing, like maybe 4 days later, and there was a fucking, you know, you're free for all in the buffet, and you know, you have the trays, you put everything on. I was going to the Jacks. Who do I fucking see collecting glasses and plates? And they're the same fucking robot, man.
The exact same robot.
Well, I can't say for certain it was the exact same fella, but like
You're
it's an
not a robot
expensive city.
racist, like, yeah.
No, like it was the same model, I suppose we'll say.
Okay.
3 wheels emoji, except this time, like he definitely looked like a bit more like the soul had been sucked out of him. Like
so I saw that over in Tenerife, but the robot didn't work. So the robot was going around trying to collect glasses, but it kept stalling.
Asking people for €2.
Please, €2 for the hostel.
Please for some oil.
Yeah.
Money for oil, please.
My children are very hungry for oil. But he's just literally, right, he just was going around and just going like,
He started trying to sell fucking handmade bracelets.
Yeah. The little Padre Pio fucking bracelets, you know?
Yeah. Would you like a Calvin Klein watch?
Hey, Del Boy.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Oh, my God.
I'm from Ireland. I love Ireland.
I don't know if
Waterford, Kerry.
I don't know, yeah, just listing places in Ireland. Galsiveen. I don't know if I told you this, but when we were in what's called Tenerife, myself and Mike, you know, we were walking down the street. It was late enough at night. Now we're coming back from the bar, and we had a few sherries, but so we were kind of steamed a bit, like, you know, walking up the road. And next thing we heard a fucking domestic happening from like coming the other way. It was the English couple fighting, you know?
Yeah.
And they were roaring the head off each other like, you fucking did this to me, you fucking that to me, you fucking slag. And she's like, yeah, but you fucking can, you fucking slag. Right? And then at the same time, one of those boys came out the old, you know, the gear, like, stopped us. And he's like, hey, you guys want some Coke or whatever? And we were like, nah, we're good, boy, we're good, whatever. Like, as polite as possible, like, you know, no thanks, no, we're grand. Our apartment was like right there. And next thing we were walking into the apartment, all we heard was the English couple passing, still fighting. And your man went, you guys want Coke? And man went, we don't want any fucking Coke, and shouted at him and walked off. But what I loved was the idea that this man that was selling drugs thought, do you know what will de-escalate this situation that could possibly end violently? Cocaine.
Yeah, guys. I have your answers all here.
Yeah. Like, have you? I know you dabbled in a bit of coke yourself, but like, have you? Did you ever find in an instance where you were getting angry that coke helped bring you fucking down to earth again?
Yes, almost exclusively. That was the reason.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that would like make it more intense, no?
Nah, but I'd be like, I'm grand by it. Whatever the situation was, there was, remember a time like the relationship I was in when I was like deep into like cocaine addiction, like a nam. I remember something would have my head melted and I'd take it, and then I'd be like, you know what, you're actually sound again. Like, then the coke would wear off and I'd be like, oh, I need to get out of this.
Oh no, I just assume like it would just make you more intense, like more fucking.
No, I would have to be looking out my fucking window holding the fucking fire poker as well, thinking, who the fuck's out there?
That's good stuff, man.
That was good fun, boy. No, I didn't get to that point, thankfully, but I knew a lot of people who did.
I think the maddest story I have about that is one of the funniest, and it's actually something that came up a few years later after it. But I was at a house party, and we were taking part in a few bit of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
like, and I was with this American fella, and it was my first time doing it, so I was like literally like, you know, it's your first time you do it, you're like, Jesus Christ, it's fucking class, man. And I was just chatting absolute bollocks to this fella, just being like, Jesus, man, like, it's just me and you need to fucking hang out, man, you know, like, we're fucking good friends. Couldn't tell you his name, couldn't tell you where he lives, couldn't tell you where he was from, just knew he was American. And that was grand. Few years I made an awful mess of myself. I think I fell through the table or something like that. That bad of a situation.
Yeah.
Like I was like genuinely like, that's just not a worse. Like, I didn't touch fucking any drugs then for years, man. And then right, we were literally a few years later, I started in a new place, and that party basically took place in a couple's house, and I was working with the ex-boyfriend now of that girl. And I was explaining to her that I was like, oh yeah, because she hated him now because they were after breaking up.
Yeah.
And I met her out, and I was like, yeah, he's actually working with me. I met him the other day, and I saluted him. I was, how are we getting on? And then she was like, yeah, he actually hates you. And I was like, oh, does he? And she's like, yeah, because the time you did cocaine at my house, it fell through the table. Yeah, he was like a dog over that. I was like, I think he was well within his rights to be totally honest. Do you remember the time you made a holy show of yourself?
Yeah. In fairness, it's very hard for you to come out the hero.
No, I was just going to say, that's fucking horrendous, Carry On, man. And then to be like, no, I'm fucking,
Fuck him, boy.
Yeah. What a cunt. If he can't take me at my worst, don't take me at my best, boy.
I was the fucking light and soul of the party.
Can I imagine if I went up to him and confront him like, you throwing shade at me over my fucking antics, boy?
Stop making me reflect on my past mistakes, boy.
Imagine being so blinded by your hatred for someone. You think, like, do you remember the time you were acting the absolute cunt there? Yeah, he wasn't too pleased with you then.
What a cunt, boy. So we were all having a laugh.
Yeah, I was having a great laugh, man.
I suppose he wasn't taking anything either, was he? He just couldn't fucking take it to the levels needed.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I never really got the major fucking buzz of it. I never really took to it that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or like fucking, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really a drug person, really. Like, with the weed is alright. But
I think it's all terrible and you should all be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah. Do you know what, actually, when we were talking about weed before? Because I'm a person, I think, if you're able to have a smoke, you're able to have a smoke. All your own relationship with any substance, whether it's alcohol, whatever the fuck, right? But I'm still 100% of the thing that weed can be incredibly fucking damaging to you
Completely.
and your mental health and destroy you. But there's so many lads they know, they're just like, no, smoke is completely grand, boy. And it's like, it's not completely grand. It might be fine for some people. But then it always comes from boys that smoke every single day. Like,
It's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you can smoke every day and be grand, that's fine too. It's all your own fucking business. But I know there's boys that if they don't smoke weed, they're genuinely getting the fucking shakes. And they're there to be like, it's perfectly harmless, man. Did you end up in a treatment centre for weed first?
No, for coke.
It was for coke.
Yeah.
You never ended up in there for weed, no?
Well, I would have been for that as well, like, you know. Like
for the two of them, yeah?
Yeah. Like, it's not like you go, like, right, I've coke sorted now.
No, I didn't mean like that. What I meant is that,
the
like,
weed and the fucking wanking.
Because no, but I knew you had like problems with weed, but I thought like that was something you had when you were younger, and then when you got a bit older, coke was the.
No, I literally, like, I was from the age of. I actually had my first smoke of weed before I had my first drink. That was about 3 weeks before it, so I mean, it's
it was the same night.
Yeah. And I remember coming in the first day I did it. I don't know who. Actually, the fella I smoked it with is dead now. But I went in home and immediately got caught because one of the fellas who lived in my estate I was hanging around with, his father was a big reefer head, like, you know.
Yeah.
So he straight away knew. The father came out to me and said, you were fucking smoking, like, you can't be doing that. And I was like, I'm not telling your mother, but like, anyway, that went on.
Oh, that's the worst if you're paranoid as well, if you're high. Oh, no.
I know. And then I dabbled with that bits of the truth. Like, so that was about the age of 14. And then, like, from at about the age of 19, 20, then I was literally started smoking every day for like 3 years. Like, I was actually, that was the thing I was fried on the longest part of the drink, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because the drink is the one that was the last to go. Because I was just like, nah. I remember even, like, when I went into the first thing, like, because I just always thought it was drugs were the problem. Like, so basically, I drove myself full blown demented with smoke.
Yeah.
Like, I was like a recluse. I was like Enya. Except
haven't played a gig since 1989.
Except, like, she was living off like quarterly royalties.
Sail away. Yeah.
I was living off a weekly illness benefit payment of like €230. And then anyway, so it was literally I started taking coke then, and then that made me lose interest in weed. So if I didn't hop on the coke, I could have been one of those boys still going, because I would have been like, this is fucking decent, boy. You know, just. And all I'd be doing is sitting in the room watching Bob Ross paint things.
Yeah.
You know, head like this. And do you ever watch him?
Oh, I love Bob Ross.
And he'd be there, like, and like the thing is, you know, like, boys be going on like about fucking the Sistine Chapel and fucking Mona Lisa. That fucker, boy, he'd have a full mountain range painted in 20 minutes.
I like the way too he's just like, if your one doesn't look as good as that, that's okay too. You know, that's okay.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind it wouldn't look as fucking good as yours, Bob.
Were you painting the same time?
Yeah. On me fucking wardrobe wall. Fuck you.
And you have to reckon the wardrobe again.
Hang on. I need to get some canvas. Yeah, but so that went on for fucking age. And then I hopped on the coke And then I lost interest in weed. But that's when I went into treatment then. And then I remember they said to me to go to a meeting for drugs. I'm not supposed to say the name of the fellowship, but it was to about drugs. And they went in then and like the kind of like the preamble, like it was like, just keep in mind there, boys, that like alcohol's a drug and you can't be drinking as well. And I remember going like, what the fuck am I after getting myself? I was fully thought like I'd go into treatment, I'd stop taking coke and I'd be back just drinking cider. Yeah. And I did do that for a while, and then the drink then.
But when you were drinking the last time, I don't think you turned to drugs at any stage, really, did you?
No.
Which is kind of good, though.
Yeah.
Not that
no,
you were,
I drank the shit out of it.
No, I'm not saying that, but at least I don't know what I'm trying to say, really. I suppose, but it's more just like I know boys that like if they only have a few pints, the first thing is we have to get a bag, and then they're back down the fucking shit heap again. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah.
Like it's a fucked up drug, man. Actually, to fucking drink as well, yeah. But no, but like what you call it, coke for like how easily accessible it is, but for how much. Like, because when I was growing up, like until the age of I'd say when I started going to the pub, not even then. I think I spent a good few years in the shadows, really, man. But I remember from the age, like from a young age, I thought like only like Charlie Sheen or like rock stars are taking coke.
Yeah, then you see a load of fucking farmers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't think that
drivers.
like every single fucker in the world is on. Like if you go out in my local town of a Saturday night, everybody's fucking jaws swinging.
So the boys like, oh, you man.
Yeah.
What the fucking see you, boy? I had a few, like in the brief times that I was back down East Cork, I had a few boys going, how's the comedy going, boy?
Yeah.
I remember there was a fella, he's a fucking down Milton way, and like, lovely fella, like, but he's fried, like, do you know what I mean? Then anyway, I went into treatment. A lot of those boys heard about it, and I think that's kind of spoke to them that someone was actually going into it.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, by far. And then I, for some reason, I'd be going out like sober. I just was like trying to convince myself I could still do it. And I was in a takeaway at like 2 a.m. This fella, and he waltzes in the door of the takeaway, like creates uproar, like with the and he's there, like the eyes are sunken into the head, like he's foaming from the mouth. And he's like, how's it going, bye? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm good. I just wanted to check how the mental health is doing, bye.
You check how your own
That's
fucking
what
mental
I
health
said
is
to him.
doing,
I
bye.
said, to be honest, I'd be more interested in seeing how you're getting on. I'm flying, by. This same fella, actually, he was at a fucking house party a few years back. Good few years back now, and it was on like the 3rd or 4th story apartment, and he was on the balcony, and for whatever reason he fell over the balcony, like fell down 4 stories. On the way down, like someone on the first floor had a sky dish. He smacked off the sky dish.
Oh no!
And that broke his fall, and all that happened to him is he had a fractured wrist.
How, lad, he's so lucky he didn't die.
Yeah.
What
he was
the
fine.
fuck?
He was fine. I'm sorry.
There's some old fella tried to watch fucking Match of the Day. Next thing the box gun. Michelle, the box is gone again. Michelle! He's fucking wrist, boy.
Yeah. That was all that happened to him. Yeah, he fell 4 stories over a balcony. And was probably out the next day.
Camden, man, was literally mental illness central.
Yeah.
It was the only way I can describe it.
I know.
Like, do you remember we were outside having a vape and there was literally the fucking that fella came along with the fucking kicking the boots.
Yeah,
around.
he had the ski boots.
Just he'd one boot first, just kicking around, and he was just going,
yeah, to
like
no one. And then he'd start there. He was like talking to no one. He just starts giving the middle finger to literally no one, going,
yeah, just.
And then we looked over at the bouncer at the place we were in. And he just kind of went, as if like, here we go again.
So what I liked was one of our buddies was like, oh no, this is where all the Irish went like during the day, like and this whole city's built on Irish people. And I was like, looking around here, I wouldn't be too fucking proud of that.
Wouldn't be shouting that around by.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, all very mentally ill drunk people just shouting at you.
Yeah, well, because it looked like no, it's just a lot of people on crystal meth.
Yeah, that's the Irish legacy.
Yeah. A lot of boys going, like there was one fella come up to me, like when me and the other 2 buddies were there, we're waiting for a bus back into the like centre, and some fella comes up and he's honestly like if it wasn't for the fact that he was visibly on drugs, you'd be like, this fella has cerebral palsy, like. You know, like so to summarise, what is the takeaway from this first one back?
We haven't changed a bit, really, have we?
It's just the environment. This is season 2, where we're going to have like kind of
definitely gonna have guests, as you can see. There's a
guests,
chair here,
like intellects, people, comedians, musicians, whoever will have us. The talking points, I'd imagine probably aren't going to change now, but we'll look back. It may have been better, or else it was worse. I don't know. Maybe all
I feel like this was a good enough episode.
yeah, but no, I mean in what was being said. So that's kind of the crack. So Aaron Mac Comedy on Instagram.
Dave Sav Comedy on Instagram.
We
Thank
probably
you.
better make an Instagram for this as well. So
I suppose we better put it up to clips.
yeah. Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Good night.